Thursday, everybody. Welcome to NHL Tonight. Glad to have you here. Bruce Boudreau, Brian Lawton, I'm Jamison Coyle. 10 games on tap. So if you thought last night's season opening night was a great night, we follow it up with double the games, 10 games on tap, including the Battle of New York coming up at the top of the hour here on NHL Network, and the debut of the #1 overall pick, Alexis Lafreniere, with the New York Rangers. As a former #1 overall pick, what is going through that young man's mind right now?
A little bit of trepidation, I'm sure, but a lot of anxiety, a lot of... nowadays, kids, they do such a great job of putting things in perspective, trying to have fun with it, things that I know I wasn't thinking about when I started, and they're better off for it. They're mature, so much better prepared.
Yeah, they're mature beyond their years when they've had to go through all these interviews, processes, and everything else, and he'll be fine tonight.
Oh, more pressure. He'll be more than fine.
Yeah.
This guy, in my opinion, is he may not be Connor McDavid. Mm-hmm. He may not be Austin Matthews. He is a tier maybe slightly below those guys expectation-wise. I think he's a heck of a hockey player, though. He reminds me of some really elite guys in this league already. Yeah,
you can lump him in the same category as Sidney Crosby, as the only two guys in hockey history to win the CHL Player of the Year award two times, Sidney Crosby and Alexis Lafreniere. Bruce, if you're behind that Rangers bench tonight, you have the #1 overall pick, and all eyes in the hockey world are on him. How are you kind of utilizing him? Are you easing him in, or are you throwing him right to the fire?
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be on the third line, I mean, which is... usually, if he plays the power play, is 15 to 17 minutes, and I think he'll get that. I mean, the whole night. I mean, if I recall correctly, last year Kakko started, you know, a little deeper in the lineup, and he gradually moved up. So I mean, I don't think they're going to play him 21, 22 minutes, but I think they're going to give him every opportunity to be a good player, like tonight. I mean, and they're going to put him in situations. They're not going to put in like I think in the third period, if it's a one-goal game, they're not going to take him off the line with a face-off in their own zone. I think they're going to let him learn, and he's going to learn quick.
I think he bangs the door down. He'll be in the top 6 in 3 weeks, in my opinion. I
hope
really
so.
do.
I hope so. I mean, that's what you want to see. Yeah.
I really think that. Now, they've got a really strong left side.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is, right? You got this guy named Panarin.
I've heard of him.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, we've heard of him.
You got a veteran who just signed a long-term deal there in Chris Kreider. Mm-hmm. He's a pretty good player, but somehow this guy, he's just one of those guys you're going to love, the way he plays. Honest player, incredibly hardworking, skilled, can finish, can set up players. There's not much this kid can't do.
All right, let's hear from his head coach, Dave Quinn, on Lafreniere making his Rangers debut in a couple of hours.
I don't think there's any way to prepare for your opening night in the NHL. I mean, you can talk to these kids all you want and tell them not to be nervous, and it's just another hockey game. But the reality of the situation, it is not just another hockey game. You know, they've been chasing this dream forever. There's going to be nerves. There's going to be a level of excitement they probably never felt before in their lives. Again, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit different because there's not people in the stands. But that being said, it's still their first National Hockey League game. So, you know, these guys have to understand that, and they got to manage their emotions and not let it get in the way of their performance.